Check 1, 2. Is this thing on this week? Is it on? Yes, it is on. I have not forgotten to turn the microphone on this week. Welcome to, where is it? Creative Breakfast Live. Back for another week. I hope you had a great week. Let's jump in. I'm gonna jump straight to the shout outs. Let's do it. The ones that I have available to me. Kevin Hawthorne in the house. As always, coming to us from Lakeland, Florida. Welcome, welcome. Livestream Consultants is here as well. Hello, hello. Frankie over 50 is here. Hey, hey. Monique is here as well. Larry, Home Rapid Repair is here. Good Saturday evening. Larry knows what time it is. SMA Sky is here. Aaron's House of Legos is here. And there's literally a house of Legos in the profile picture. That is good. I like it. I like it. Creative Classroom is here. Good day, everybody. Won't be on really, but had to pop in to say hello. Absolutely. Absolutely. Saturday morning's hive of activity. Eileen Smith is here with the yo, not the ho. And dropping the emojis, mind you, the cool, the 10K, and the mod spanner. There it is, or the wrench, the spanner, whatever you want to call it. Lee from Anfield Road Layout in the Loft is here. Hi, listening. Working on the new project for the train layout, as always. Treating the show like a podcast, which is awesome. I enjoy using it as a podcast, treating it as a podcast, joining in. I appreciate the lurkers, and I appreciate those who are jumping in. And that music already means that we've already hit one of these super chat goals. Well, who has hit the goal? We've accrued one of those along the way from our Livestream Consultants who comes in with the super chat. I'll go shorten these. I think I've said that the last 3 weeks. Thank you for the super chat. And Livestream Consultants comes in with the $5 super chat. Let me kick it off, then Doug, and inspire others to do the same. Yeah, because what I've done today, I thought, we got these stream features. I'm a streamer. I like to test things as part of the process. Remember back when vertical streams came out, we were like, going vertical, we're going horizontal, we're doing both at the same time. I was pulling out OBS and dual streaming, all that crazy stuff. Well, we've had Super Chat goals since, I think, about Christmas. I think it was that, like, YouTube's yearly Christmas gift to us. This one's a little bit slightly more useful than the one from the year before. We'll go into that another time. But this one is the goal. So the goal is posted there. If we get 5 super chats in the during the duration of the stream, I set for an hour. The stream's an hour. Then I'll do a bonus stream during the week. So if we get 5 super chats, $5 or above, or teal or above, depending on what currency it is where you are. So the green teal color or above will trigger that to go. So I just thought I'd add that. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Then there's another one coming in. I've streamlined my my audio alert for that, because what it used to do is it used to trigger in Ecamm that somebody had super chatted, and then you can use like the Apple Shortcuts feature on the Mac to trigger something. I could trigger anything. I had it triggering a sound, but it was a sound via like the music app, so it would have to load the music app, go and find the track for that sound effect, and then play it, and then that would be left open, so to have like more resources open once that happens. So I retweaked the shortcut to play music and not using another method. That doesn't open anything; it just plays it as a sound effect. We can hear it in the stream. Love your work. Thank you, Apple, for your shortcuts. Look at that. No, but we got to highlight that one. Goals are good. Home Rapid Repair. Larry's coming in with the $5 super chat. That's 2 down for the goal of 5. I thought I'll just set it. Don't have to set it like lofty, but because it's a test. It's a test. 5's a good number. I wasn't going to set like the next one down was 1. It's like if anybody super chatted $5 above, it would trigger it and be done. But I thought let's make it something that needs to be worked towards. 5 is a good number, so that's what we did. Let's just keep going in the chat. We've got Beanie Draw saying, morning, Doug. Morning, good evening. Good evening. It's I know you're an hour ahead of me this time of year. So yes, still evening, but not much longer. Honestly, with like this, it's one of those ones you get in like when you go into like one of those department stores where they sell clothes. It's not in the men's shirt section, but it's actually in the fitness section. Where it's like more of a workout material. So if you're sweating that, it's not too heavy. It's breathable. So but they have some nice looking ones now. It's not like some of the ones you've probably seen me wear before. And it looks like they've got holes in it. So that material, it's got little dots all over it because there's little tiny holes cut in the material. This one is just more of a pattern. And so yeah, it's one of a couple of new shirts I've got. So it's red. It's not a channel color, but it's a bit of a contrast to the blue. So I'm not going to blend in. Yeah, I'm glad you like the shirt. It's just one of my new ones. I thought, yeah, it's good to have some different colors in the mix. So it's not one of the like merch shirts that are just like regular t-shirts. This one is like nice and cool, great in summer. You know, handles like if you're out in the humidity and that, it'll handle the sweat a little bit better. Like if you're in the gym doing the workout. So yeah, I sort of dig the lightness of the material. All right. Yeah, so Beanie Draws is here, as we said. It's a 0 dark 30 here in New Mexico when you start your Saturday stream. Yeah, we're coming in. Yeah, in your winter months, it's shorter days, and I think because we're starting like it's like 7:30 Eastern time. So over in New Mexico, that's like super early. So I certainly appreciate the fact that you're here every week. Good stuff. Yeah, well, there's a few bits of YouTube news this week. But one other thing that to keep in mind is anytime during the stream, if you have a question for me, to drop it in the chat with a Q in front of it so I know it's a question for me. So you can direct questions directly to me, or if you have a comment and you want me to sort of get attention on it, put a Q in front of it. That's all good. And we'll do that. We're going to hit a couple of... in a minute, we'll jump on over to this week's YouTube news. What's Creator Insider talking about? Is there anything else kicking around the YouTube ecosphere news-wise? There's a couple of things. Not as busy as last week with Neil Mohan's blog post that he put out. So that had a little bit more for us to talk about this week. A few small announcements this week, but it's now today is the 22nd of February. And one thing I'd like to bring to mind is that it was mentioned in one video, not directly some of the ones from Neil Mohan, but it was talked about but not given a time frame. But Rene Ritchie gave a time frame in one of his shorts that auto dubbing should be rolling out to everybody in YouTube Partner Program by the end of February, by the end of this month. And so that's like a week away. I think this time next week is this next Saturday in March? 28 days. We've only got 6 days left. Yeah. So this time next week, it'll be like March. I think it'll be like the 1st or 2nd of March. So maybe this time next week, we're going to be talking about auto dubbing and all the announcements around that. So that might be the big topic of next week. We'll see. Larry has a question, so let's bring that up right now. I'm just going to make sure everything's on the screen. It should be on the screen. In YouTube Roundup, they mentioned community is rolling out to more people on mobile. I'm planning to keep it off for now, so I have less to moderate. Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a handful because for moderation, just looking, because I don't have it to sort of indicate it, but looking at someone who has a lot of subscribers, someone like Nick Nimmin, for example, who's got it turned on. I'm always seeing posts in there. It's not getting a lot of engagement. If you're doing it to get Nick's attention, he's probably not going to be jumping in and looking at that every second of the day. So it depends on how you want to set that up. It's more community to community in some respects. And the one other thing that you can do is you can actually, all the moderation tools that you use for chats and comments will just automatically apply to those posts as well. So, if you've got those set up with your block words and everything else, they're still going to apply to people who post as a subscriber or whatever on your community. So I think, I think leaving it off until it's maybe more fully featured, unless you're like really curious, like someone like me who I just want to test stuff, and if if it's available, maybe I'll jump on and do some experiments and stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's one of the things that they talked about in the recap this week. We're going to be talking about that as well, talking about what they mentioned, because the recap is the first recap of the year. So they recap stuff from back into late 2024. Some of the things that they mentioned. We're just going to go through the list of those and comment on those. And if there's any questions about those, we can jump on those as well. Let's have a look. And don't forget, you can also at any time trigger those GIFs in the live chat that will just sort of pop up over here. I should do it in front of the microphone. They'll pop up in this corner here. The link to that, all the commands are just in the chat below the chat rules in the description of the live stream. So that's good to know as well that they're there. I know Chantel's on vacation at the moment. I was chatting to her earlier, so I'm not sure. She might pop in at some point, but she is on vacation. So we'll see what happens. She'll probably poke her head in. See if there's anything else in the chat before we jump on over and look at some of the news for the week. I wonder if there's an option to allow posts but only after approval. Yeah, you can like hold it all for review, but I think the issue at the moment with the way they've got it set up is the setting is global, so that'll also hold all your comments for approval, and will hold all that sort of stuff for approval. That's the perfect gift right now. I always appreciate the hydrate gift. gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. The gift of life. The gift of water. All right. Yeah. So yeah, again, and if for a pre-approval of certain people, well, you could pre-approve if you go in the back end where all the community settings are. You can actually make an approved list of people, so you can add people to an approved list where you'll anybody in your community that you trust, you can just let their posts go through automatically regardless of what they say. So it'll ignore like block words and everything because they're like an approved person. A bit like a moderator without having moderator powers. So that is something. Yeah, subscribe. People are finding them. Legal-minded friends, Karen Cole is in the house. Welcome to the stream this week. It's good to see you here. All right, I'm going to jump on over to, let's look at the overview. Let's look at Creator Insider, and then towards the end we'll go and look at the community roundup or the Creator roundup for, well, it's usually a monthly thing, but it will go back over the last couple of months. So let's clear off what we need to clear off to make the screen more streamlined. Okay, Creator Insider Newsflash. Today they had 3 points. It was another very short Creator Insider. They came back around to something that they announced back in December, which was voice reply experiment. They're expanding that to more people, and we're going to go into what the details are on that in a second. They now put the promote button on shorts, whereas before it was just on long form videos. So we might touch on that one as well. And the third one, which we're not going to go into any detail, they added a new shorts effect based on the Sims game. So there's like a effect, a bit like the Minecraft one that they've got on there, which I think is still on there. I'm really not sure. So they're the things we're going to look at. So let's dive into the first one, which is voice replies. Bit of a demo on the side there, but it doesn't loop. I haven't figured out how to get that to loop yet. It wouldn't let me. So with voice replies, creators can leave replies on comments of their own videos. It's a bit like replying to a comment with a short, but instead you're just leaving like a voice memo. Now that right now in the experiment, they're a maximum of 30-second duration. So you can leave a 30-second voice reply. So it's basically replying to a comment with a voice message. That's effectively what it is. And they are testing it with a small amount of creators in the US who are using iOS devices. So if you're not in the US, don't bother looking for it. If you're in the US and you have an iPhone, then go into the YouTube app, go and find one of your videos just on the video watch page, go down to the comments and see if you have like an audio waveform, which is next to the camera. Next, after you go like reply, and then open up the text box to reply. Instead of doing a text reply, it'll have a little audio waveform. You can click on that to record a message. Next to that will be the camera for replying to a comment with a short, which will then kick you into the shorts tool to make a short. But it's right there in that same place. That's the only way you're going to know if you've got it is by looking at that. So if you're in the US, you're using iOS, you may or may not be in the experiment. It's random. They've picked a bunch of people. That's how it works. Chantel Hill's in the house, rolling through to say hi. Hello, welcome. What else we got here? Just in the chat, everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hi. So we'll continue on to the next page. The promote shorts. This is just one of the articles that I found on Threads. Let me move that VMAC thing. This basically is recapping both the voice replies and the promote with shorts. But basically, they're bringing the promote button to Shorts tab and the Shorts shelf on desktop. So if you're on your own channel basically, and you see your Shorts shelf on your homepage, or if you go to the Shorts tab, see all the shorts. One of the options you'll get when you click around, I don't know exactly where it shows. I think it's in the 3-dot menu actually. One of the options will be the promote with the megaphone image, like it has been on VODs for a while. Similar sort of feature where you can just do all that in Studio. You don't have to like kick out to add Google Ads and make a campaign and all that. You can just do all that on there. But as we say, don't use a promotional tool to grow your channel. That's not what it's there for. If you're running a promotion and it's in the form of a short, like you're selling, you're putting out a new book, selling a course, something like that, that might be where you want to boost it with a promotion. You don't want to be boosting it just for the sake of getting more views, because that means you're just throwing money at it. And you want to try and get as many organic views as possible. So it works exactly the same way. They're just now putting that onto shorts. All right, just scanning the chat real quick. A girl and her passport's in the house. Welcome to the stream. There we go. Nothing else I see. No questions. Now what I've done is I've double backed. There's a couple of ones that I missed last week, so I've left them on here to hit up. One of the ones from last week was they're doing an update to the YouTube app on TV. They're bringing multiple improvements to YouTube Shorts experience, so the Shorts viewing experience is a little bit better on TV, including a cleaner interface, multiple audio track options. It also brings full screen channel previews and the ability to set parent codes to restrict unauthorized actions to adult accounts by kids in the household. Just general quality of life features for the TV app for viewers. But not too much on the creator side to talk about there. And then one of the other things from last week, which is also in this week's creator roundup, is the ability that they've just upgraded some features on Dream Screen. It's now powered by Veo 2, not the original Veo. Veo 2 is a Google product that helps you generate images, and then you can also animate those images to use them in shorts. So it's part of all the shorts tools that are in on the app. You can start doing that now. That right now, I think that Dream Screen feature is only available in 4 countries: that's US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So if you're outside those countries, I don't think you have access to that unless you got maybe the proto version of Dream Screen that came out a couple of years ago, which I think everybody got. So you can check on that. It's one of the Shorts tools features when you go to add an image down in the bottom left-hand corner when creating a short on the YouTube app. The first option, it'll show up like stuff out of your camera roll, but the first option is like a AI generated image, basically Dream Screen. So I'm going to power through. Actually, before I do that, there's a question. When we click around comments on my own videos, I see options for the viewer. One reads, add as approved user. What does that mean? That's a bit like when you go into, if you go into your settings in Studio and you go to the community section where you can set your moderators, channels that you've hidden. This is the one that's called approved users. This one I just mentioned before when we were talking about one of the questions that SMA Sky had about pre-approving people to post. If you add that person as approved user, it means that they bypass all the filters. It means if they post, it'll let them post whatever they want to post. So it's for like people you trust. They can post without me having to approve it. If they get like a little bit, if they cross the line a little bit, I don't mind, or I trust them not to cross a line. So they're basically putting no filters on what they say. You're allowing them to just post a comment or join in the live stream comments, whatever, do whatever they want without having any limitations. It's a bit like a mod without mod powers. So that's what an approved user is. It's like just giving them a pass to not accidentally get held for review or anything like that. Let's have a look. Livestream Consult says check my other channel and it does not have the new feature of audio reply. Yeah, it's going to be a random subset of channels in the US. Yeah, it's going to be hit or miss for that because it's in that experiment stage. It's not even like communities. Not everybody has that, but it's in the beta stage, and that's more people than experiment. Experiment is an even smaller group of people. So yeah, but yeah, if you have it, report back, use it. Maybe give some feedback to the YouTube on how well it works. I always love to be in those sorts of experiments if it's something that's likely to come out. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's right over my face in this mode. All good. All right, I'm rattling through this. Okay, this is the last one. This is just a summary of everything they talked to. I called it the monthly creator roundup, but it really goes over because they didn't do one for January. I can't remember if they did one in December. But you might notice that some of these we've known about them for a while. So in order that I've written them down, the communities beta, which we've talked about earlier this month. We've talked about that regularly. We've even mentioned it earlier in the stream. Text to speech, which is this month, which is a new thing this month, in shorts because it was on Android. Now it's on iOS, and now everybody can have it as a text to speech in shorts. That means that if you record a short that has audio in it, you can when you're uploading your short, you can actually go and choose the option for text to speech, and it will actually add text, and you can actually change out the text to look like how you want it to look like. You can correct errors and stuff before you finalize the video for the short. And it's just like adding instant captions to your shorts, which is great. So it means you don't have to do it yourself. They mentioned longer shorts, which we've had for a while, but they put it in there. Said, hey, you can do up to 3-minute shorts now. You can upload it. You can create them on the app. You can do them 3-minute shorts everywhere. So you can go up to 3 minutes now. There's no limitations anymore on that. The Dream Screen update, which I mentioned just before, that's rolling out. I don't think I need to go into that. Super Chat goals, which we're experimenting with today. We've got 2 out of 5 to meet the goal for today. This is a test. This is not something I'm going to be dropping on a regular basis, but maybe from time to time. But today I'm doing it as a test. And the goal is, if you click on the goal, you can see that I should click on the goal because then I can read it out. It says, if we get 5 teal super chats or above in the next 31 minutes and 22 seconds, I'll do a bonus stream during the week. Now, that's a commitment, isn't it? Yes, I will. Let's click continue. Get rid of that. Oh, it asked me if I wanted to super chat myself. Okay, sure. All right. And the last one, we'll get the last one. We can get out of this scene here. They mentioned, of course, that the upgraded inspiration tab in Studio. So I think we talked about, I can't remember when we talked about that a little while ago. That's a notification. We got another super chat. Let's jump in. Actually, there's 2. I'm going to hit them in order. I don't know if we're going to get two chimes because they came in virtually the same time. But that's okay because I can do this.
Thank you for the super chat.
Larry dropped another $5 super chat to make it 3 or 5. And then right at the same time, iFund Chris.
Thank you for the super chat.
iFund Chris also came in with the $5 super chat. And thank you for your donation. He even gave me the script to read. I love it. Let's jump back to this. The name of the show is always good. It's always welcome. The name of the show is Creator Breakfast Live, if you don't know where you are already. So there we go. Thank you for your donation. That's everything there. All right, so that's all on the news front this week. So a lot of recapping with the roundup and a couple of small announcements from Creator Insider this week. Nothing big, nothing huge. No big blog post from Neil Mohan this week. That was last week. But I would expect this week we're gonna the topic of next week's show, if everything is timed out by the way YouTube sort of hinted that it would be, is that we might be talking all about auto dubbing next week. It could have rolled out to all of us in YouTube Partner Program. If that's the case, then I'll probably have a lot to say. I understand. Okay, this is following on from here we go. Let me try and follow the trail here. Just uploaded a photo testing members only. So does it show up as a blank unless you are a member? Photo. So you've turned on memberships. You've posted in the community section to just members. You uploaded a photo, or you've put a photo in somebody else's members community. I'm not sure. Actually, no, because communities aren't members only. Communities they don't have that option at the moment. Something we want them to introduce, and they've hinted that would be the case. I'm not sure. Hang on. It will only show up. It will only show up for members only. Okay, I'm coming in the tail end of some other conversation, aren't I? I'm just going to leave that. This is conversation. Only one more to go, guys. Let's get Doug streaming in the middle of this week for us. And there we go. Legal Minded Friends, Karen Cole came in. That's a super chat. Definitely. Thank you for yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
It doesn't hit the goal because it's not a teal or above, but it's welcomed nonetheless. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to open it up to Q&A now. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat right now. Or if you have something you want to talk about, maybe something that you've been thinking about for a while. Maybe I was going to ask Nick Nimmin about that last week, but I didn't get around to it. I was going to ask Doug last week, and I'll ask somebody. And this is the question I have about YouTube. This is the time to drop it in the chat, and we can address it. We have time to address these things today. Not huge on the news. And here comes the double Doug there. Boom. I wish I had built-in sound effects into GIFs. That'd be cool. So it would come in, it would be like a dog barking or something. Double dog dare. I don't know. It makes me think of dogs. So it's like double dog dare, double Doug dare. That's why it makes me think of dogs. Oh no, that's okay. That's fine. It's just that YouTube won't recognize it with their goal feature. It's all good. Larry and Livestream Consultants have been dropping the gifts there in the chat. So let's see what I'm gonna just have a look at some stuff. See if we've got some other things we could talk about in amongst all the Can you do it in the software on that one? That's a good question. I need to dive in. I don't see any like audio options. I don't think GIFs have the ability to hold audio. So if it's playing GIFs from a site like Giphy or one of the other GIF sites, I don't think they have the ability to hold like a sound effect or any piece of audio. I don't know whether you could time it. I certainly don't think that right now, because there is even one where when I click on and bring up the comments, it makes like a. I'll just click on this one. It doesn't look like I have auto reply, but sometimes there's like a little chime. You can actually change that chime, but I've never had any luck to change it in Social Stream Ninja unless they've updated something to make it like a little bit more easier to do. Like I found a sound effect, I've linked to it, it's online, so it's an available sound effect and doesn't play. I could. The only reason why I can trigger the sound for super chats is because Ecamm has the ability to. What am I looking for? In their settings, they have an option. I don't even know where it is. I'd have to be looking for it. Probably actually, it's probably in preferences. Let's have a look. Shortcuts. There's a menu, shortcut menu. You can trigger actions when a super chat arrives, which is what I'm using. But it's only a set amount of things. I could when the Ecamm Live opens, you can trigger something. So you could like say when I open Ecamm, I also open my YouTube backend or something like that. Have it do something when maybe a broadcast starts, so you could have it like tweet something out when your broadcast starts. So you could like it's just like a trigger, like using if this and that or another service like Zapier or whatever. But it only has like 5 different options, and it's nothing that works with overlays, unfortunately. But that's interesting. Oh yes, I added a new channel to my Discord, especially for those who just like to go and maybe share their latest video or a milestone or anything like that. So for the members in the members Discord, I've just added a new channel that allows you to just self promote. It's like self promote away. You can self promote anything you want in that. As long as it's family friendly, it's not going to get moderated. It's going to be left there. People want to browse that and check out the video or the milestone or the maybe you've updated your channel art and you want to like, hey, look at my new channel art. It's pretty cool. That's just if you want to like just self promote away. There's a new one in the Discord for those who like to use Discord, of course. So yeah, that's the Discord news for the week. Thank you, Chris, for reminding me on that one. It was only yesterday that I did that, so I should remember. Maybe trigger with a trigger to play a sound effect. Then yeah, we'll see. You can certainly do it for the super chats. Have like an automatic super chat GIF come up. Like that would work. I could do that. You can make a soundboard using a web page, but I guess, I could technically just press a button. If I programmed a button with a sound effect on my Stream Deck, I could do that. I've got pads on my Rodecaster Pro, which I do my super chats and stuff on. Like this one. Like this one. All my stream stuff's just on a set of 8 pads. That happens to be on the Rodecaster, but I could do the same thing on the Stream Deck that will play it through Ecamm. So I can do that. Ecamm has a sound effect thing where I can load in any type of audio and just hit play on it and it will play. Like I can play, I got old ads that I played in here. Or I can play a sound effect, the ding. And I could say
Create a breakfast starts right now.
So I can trigger them manually. No problem at all. And some of these are built in. So when I go to a different page, for example, that has a sound effect, like if I go do the plugs for all the live streams coming up, like this one, you get this. It plays the music. because we're here, let's talk about this then. Nick Nimmin, I believe, is streaming today. I haven't, when I started streaming, he hadn't scheduled. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, he's scheduled now, so he's coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern today. Daryl Lees is back. Daryl Lees is becoming a weekly streamer. He's going to be on right after Nick at 12 noon Eastern today, talking to another one of his students about how they blew up their channel, specifically in for the channel that he's talking to. They talked about they've had people on who specialize in shorts and did specialize in different things, different niches. So it's always great information to learn there. And also, coming up tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, Chantel will be back and doing her weekly live stream, as always, YouTube and live stream Q&A. And of course, I'll be back here next week, as always. So that music is triggered because it's part of the scene. That's built into the scene. So there's ways of inserting sound effects to a live stream. So, we can get that done. We can get that done. So yes. Let's see. I'm going to jump into the chat. I'm building an app with the help of ChatGPT. I've heard a lot of people doing that. To control my OBS streaming, my telescope, I could theoretically add a soundboard there. Hey, yeah, that's a good point. I haven't I might when I've got a little bit of free time, I like to dabble. Well, maybe I can dabble with some. Hey, if I'm using a certain software or a certain application, can I program it to do this? ChatGPT, help me. All that. Was that Chantel's voice? On that promo? No, that was Isabella Russell from Music Radio Creative. I think it's this one you're talking about.
Creator Breakfast starts right now.
That's Isabella Russell. Back when her and her husband Mike were doing they were doing like a Friday show live stream, and I was one of their moderators. So along the way, they had it was a show called Free Jingle Friday. So they would make voiceovers with sound effects and stuff for super chats. Basically, you drop a super chat of a certain amount, and you could put in a script and request a short radio type voiceover. So it could be very radio style with that music. That one didn't have anything on it, but I do have some that have fully produced. I'm looking. I had one for.
Check out some cool designs for moderators at our merch store. The It's Hammer Time shirt is my favorite. Link below. Can't touch this.
So I just sent in a script, and they basically for a super chat or whatever, they would create that with they did record the voiceover, put some effect on the voice, and add in all the beats and the sound effects, and so it sounded like a radio jingle. And so that's what they would do. They were doing that for years. I haven't done it for a couple of years now, but I was one of their mods, so I would get a lot of those made up in those streams. And then sometimes I'd just get the plain ones, and I might maybe just tweak it myself, add my own backing music or sound effects or whatever. But most of them got produced. So I got ones for stuff I don't there's one here for StreamYard. I don't promote StreamYard anymore. Different things I don't want to play a bunch of things that I don't promote anymore. But that's because they're still loaded from when I did. So yeah, there's a whole different thing. Remember, a while ago, instead of when I was telling people what was coming up in the show, I actually had a produced video, and it had an intro, something like this.
It's time for the live stream rundown, brought to you by Doug Hewson YT.com.
That was without any music. That was the plain voiceover. That was Mike Russell, by the way. So I'd get some plain stuff like that, and then I would work it into my videos. So it would be a voiceover in my video. So I would use that to make those short promo videos for what's coming up this week, live streaming wise. So it's Nick Nimmin's coming up with Nimmin Live, and Daryl Leaves is streaming at this time, and remember Dee and Daniel were doing their monthly channel review show. I'd have that on there. It'd be like if it was a Super Saturday where everybody was streaming the same week, I would put together a video. I did that like for a year or two here and there when there was like a lot on that week to give it a bit of promo, because I'm usually the first cab off the rank on a Saturday. I'm pretty early, so that's what I did. So I've got all these up my sleeve, and a lot of that stuff, we can trigger in different ways or use it in different ways. Most of the time, I'm just hitting buttons, trigger it when I need it. Okay, is there anything happening in the chat that I need to know of? Yeah, it could, because you could basically, AI is probably done away with, unless you want a certain voice for a certain person because that's who you've been using for a while. Like, I know Music Radio Creative have real people that do the voiceovers, and they get produced like that, and they do voiceovers, radio jingles. They do long form stuff where they might be reading like a script that's going to be cut into a video, all sorts of things, all sorts of stuff for radio, stuff for television, all sorts of things. But they're using real voices for that. But yeah, obviously with AI now, particularly stuff like 11 Labs with the realistic video, so it will read out what you type, and you can set the level of reality to it. To is it using inflections, and it's not just monotone. They're not monotone voiceovers anymore. They're actually expressive voiceovers. And you can make your own. You could actually create, if you spend enough time training a voice on 11 Labs, you can create your own cloned voice. Like, you have to, like, they can't like go and let somebody else use it. It's only for your use. And they won't let you create somebody else's voice by feeding it like audio recordings and stuff, because you have to be the real person to activate that, because they will do like a voice activation, so you have to be the real person to activate that. But you can train that up with like your past video content, or a bunch of your live streams where you're talking. It's learning your voice in a way that when you start typing in a script, it's going to sound just about like you. Like that, you because it's your voice, you'll tell, but it'd be so close that it'd be good to, like, if you make a video that with something you forgot to record, that you can just add that in and it won't sound out of place, for example. So there's all these like AI voices, it's a thing. It's a thing, and I think if you're using your own voice for your own purposes, where you're giving yourself permission to use your own voice, I think that's acceptable. Obviously, there's issues and ethical issues with trying to use somebody else's voice, maybe a famous person's voice. People are going to be deep faking people like Elon. We've seen the Elon crypto streams where people have taken over people's YouTube channels, made these videos making Elon say something that he hasn't really said, but it's like footage of him doing a conversation. But because there's wide shots and stuff, they can just, doesn't matter what his lips are doing, they can just put words in his mouth. That's the sort of stuff that YouTube want like declared and acknowledged up front. That's the sort of thing that the altered content declaration is for. Exactly like that sort of stuff. All right, I know there's a question here. I hear some creators say that YouTube views are down recently. I sometimes remind them that they're competing with people's attention span for all of life, not just YouTube views. That is true. That is true. And there's always seasonality thing. Like, once we get into the new year, like, it depends on where you live as well. Like our seasons are opposite here. So our summer, we're just like in the tail end of our summer. But all the kids went back to school at end of January, like very late January. Like last week of January, they're going back to school. So they've been back to school for close to a month now. So we're sort of getting back into like the normal yearly routine. That first month for us, a lot of people are on holidays. So some of them are spending more time on YouTube. Some of us are spending less time on YouTube. So there's all these life factors, like you said in the comment. There's all these life factors that determine when people are going to be available to even watch videos. Like, I haven't watched it. I've started watching more videos just sort of sort of loosely on certain subjects, just as like a winding down. And I've sort of stopped watching as many sort of learning about YouTube videos, even though I still have them fed to me, unless they're like somebody I really want to watch. Like I'm only watching certain ones at the moment, but I will go back to watching some of the other ones. Like I get recommended stuff from all sorts of people these days, people I've never heard of, talking about YouTube. I don't know if their advice is good or not. Sometimes I'm curious and I'll have a listen and go, oh yeah, no, that's solid, that's okay. Sometimes they'll be telling you nonsense, and I'm like, oh, I hope people don't watch this. This is nonsense. You know, it's always tempting to, you know, oh, maybe I can, like, I don't know if I do it on my channel, but maybe you could like start like a maybe it could be a video series, but you'd have to like really frame it carefully so that it doesn't come across like you're causing drama with other YouTubers criticizing their YouTube advice. But sometimes people give out good advice. You know, Nick's talked about that a couple of times, but he's very careful to not put them on blast or name names. But he just talks to the advice. What's the advice, and why is it wrong? I think that's something that I think in the landscape we're in now, there's a lot more voices out there. But I wouldn't want to call people out specifically, although I think some of us can pick it from a mile away, to be honest. But not everybody will. New creators aren't going to pick up on whether advice is good or not. So you know, there's a possibility of some sort of opportunity for someone to step into that and like call it out in some fashion. But I wouldn't want to do it, like me personally, I wouldn't want to see it done as a drama thing. That's for sure. I don't know why I'm going down that question. Wait, what are you doing to me, Larry? I was working with a creator who is doing their own AI voice. Very cool. Yeah, that's right. Like if you're using it to sort of streamline your process, so it's like, well, I don't have to sit here and like I've got a script. I know what I want to say, but now I have to say it. But I can make mistakes, or I could not do it quite right. I can plug that in if I've trained the AI to sound like me, and I can plug it in, use that voice, and I can use that in my videos, especially if I'm not on camera. If I'm just doing like a voiceover, I can insert some of that audio over the stock footage or whatever it is that I'm showing visually that I'm not actually in the shot for. It becomes a really helpful tool. Absolutely. 11 Labs is cool, but I don't think I'll put my voice in it or use an AI voice. Yeah, it's a choice for sure. It's a choice. Like I would use it. I would use it a little bit like I would in like if I was using Descript. Like I have mucked around with Descript a bit, which is basically where you can edit. If you've got you can upload a video into it, or just audio, but you can upload a video into it, and it will scan it, and it will actually spit out the text. So you're ready to go with captions, but you can edit by what you said, and so you can do your video editing by that. Now, if you said something different, they have the ability that if you've trained your voice in Descript, that you can, okay, the way I said that was wrong, I really need to change that. So you can actually change the text and have it say what you want it to say. That's like a bonus feature there. And so, yeah, I was expecting that sound to come. That's why I paused. Okay, I apologize for that last question. Rabbit hole. Hey, rabbit holes good. Rabbit holes can be good. That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you for the super chat.
And for that super chat. And the other thing in regards to that super chat, that we need to address is that we've actually hit the goal. Goal achieved. All right, it says here, thank you for your audience. Thank your audience. Okay, it's telling me to thank my audience for making it possible. Thank you for making it possible, especially Larry. He posted 3 of the 5. So pretty cool. Okay, that means in the next week I'm throwing a bonus stream somewhere. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know when that's going to be yet, but it might be at a different time slot, or it might not be. It might be like my late evening, so it hits your morning. Or we might even sneak it in your evening, which is my morning. So yeah, look out for announcements on that. I will drop that. It will be open to everybody stream. Won't be a members only stream, but I do owe members some member stream. All right, member stream in March. M for March, M for members. How's that? So I've got a month window to slot in that member stream. So normal stream this week, a member stream in March. Awesome. So maybe we need like a big celebration. We reached the goal. We reached the goal. We need to, you know. We reached the goal. We got to celebrate. All right. Back to the chat. Where are we up to? All this AI talk required a second cup of coffee. Yeah, the way I'm going, I'm going to need a second bottle of water. Aussie Insider has created amazing AI conversation between two people. All right, I can talk to this. I've been experimenting with this very thing. There's a couple of different tools that do this. You can do this on the 11 Labs app, and you can also do it in Google's Notebook LM. And I've been inputting like articles about YouTube. I did one on communities first as my test. I believe that's the one that's uploaded and available. I created a whole new channel. There's a channel out there. It's a podcast channel. It is two AI voices having a discussion. I am not in it. I am the faceless creator. So I officially have a faceless channel. But it is a video. It's a video content. Now the video is I've created some visualizations and I've put up like the text as they're speaking and all that, which I'm experimenting with in Descript. In Descript, I can create like the video side of things, where it's got like the podcast imagery, because I've got like a podcast, profile picture and everything. I've given it a channel banner. It's all good to go. It's live. And the first episode was on YouTube Communities, because that was like the newest thing out. So I loaded in a couple of the different help articles from YouTube into Notebook LM, and basically you get it to, it reads all that. And you can even attach YouTube videos, but what it does is it reads the transcript of the videos right now. So it's only going off the text anyway, but the transcripts are straight off what people are saying in the video. So you can load YouTube videos in there, but basically you can have you can output or generate a mini podcast. They're not long. They're like I got one that's like about 6 minutes, one's about 12 minutes. So it's not hugely long, but it's like a discussion on that topic. And I always frame it around creators. And I've got one that's in the works, so one or two that's in the works, but I've got one that's published right now. I don't know if it's everybody's cup of tea, but I'm thinking at least for the audio it might be interesting, because there's nothing really to see with the visualization, but it does tell you who's speaking, because I've given them names as a male and female voice. I call them George and Lisa. I just pick names out of random. I just gave them names. And so it shows you when George is speaking, when Lisa's speaking. It shows you what they're saying. It's got the text up there. It's got the name of the podcast and the episode number and the topic. So it's a totally AI-made podcast, just by putting in articles, information in Notebook LM, and it produces this for you. Now, it did produce one I did in about a week ago, and I wasn't happy with the results, because when they're having their back and forth discussion, the person coming in after the previous person was repeating the tail end of the previous thought, but they did it like it happens every now and then. It sort of seems natural, but it was happening all the time, and I'm like, this is overdone. So I basically wiped it and redid it. And basically you can actually tell it to take the information and frame it a certain way. So you can say, let's talk about the information, but frame it for YouTube creators. And that's usually the main thing I get it to do, and to put out results. So it's interesting. It's an experiment. I don't have any thoughts on whether it's good or bad, or I don't know whether people will enjoy it or not enjoy it. So it's a test. I'm putting it out there anonymously. I don't put my name on it. My name's not on it. It's just a podcast. It's some kooky name. I gave it a kooky name. It's like doesn't roll off the tongue. I think it's the Discussing YouTube Features podcast, and I shortened that to because that's really long. The Discussing YouTube Features. So it was DYF podcast. So you can probably find it from that now. But there's like only one episode up live at the moment. But it's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird if you ask me. One thing that I've noticed, that going off the podcast discussion and the whole AI thing, and I will jump back into the chat in just a second, is there's one thing in when it comes to super chats that I haven't been doing, that the creator and super chats, if they're in their back end, they can actually drop hearts on those super chats, and I've been forgetting to do that, so I'm going to go through now and heart every super chat. I noticed that Nick Niman's been doing it because you'll see that, like, you'll probably, if whatever ones are still sort of in the chat there that you can see, you'll see now that I've hearted them. So it's a feature as part of the we can now heart the super chats. There's the liking of super chats that everyone can do in the chat, and there's also the reply to super chats that everybody can do in the chat. So you can click on the little thumbs up, and you click on the reply button, and it'll let you like reply but directly back to the person who super chatted. So, you know, all these good things. Okay, where are we? I'm going to jump back into the chat. Another needed rabbit hole talking about AI podcasts. Oh my goodness. You need to trigger. I think I have all that turned off, so I don't think that'll, that'll just give us the bubbles. Yeah, I have all that turned off. I could turn it on though. Like, it's easy enough. I think it's in here. Apparently, I know that's a share window. I don't know what that is. Should be in this one. No. That's my screen mirroring. No. I don't have it popping up right now, so that's okay. I have it all turned off. Aussie, hers are perfect AI conversations. I don't know how she does it, though I miss her Aussie accent. Is it her own? She's using one of her own like Australian voices. Like mine sound very American, very North American. They've got that. I don't know. I think it could be like Californian. I really don't know my localizations, but you know, if it's people from the South, I can usually tell. But other parts of the US, I'm not sure. Like people in Texas, I can pick out a little bit better. Where are we? Subscribe. I'm going to check it out. Okay, yeah. I don't know what my regular cadence is going to be on that. But yeah, when I'm doing, like, if there's new features coming out, I'm going to turn it into a podcast. I'm going to load in the articles from YouTube that's based directly on the YouTube information, so it's not based on what other people are saying. But you know, they turn it into a conversation, and so I don't know, you know, how valuable people will find that, but you know, I'm interested to find that out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mine are too. Absolutely. So it's probably, yeah, because I've heard exactly like the same type of thing from the 11 Labs app, and also from the Notebook LM, which is a Google feature. So I don't know whether 11 Labs uses the same thing or they're using each other, or I'm not sure. But basically the output is something that's very much similar in the sense of it being a podcast, two people speaking, having a conversation. So it's interesting. Yeah. So to listen to, yeah, for those who are like checking it out, like, you know, it's not supposed to be a representation of me or my thoughts, because, you know, it's just creating a conversation based on the YouTube information that I'm feeding it. So, you know, I'm not drawing conclusions. Like, the conclusions it draws are the AI's conclusions, right or wrong. I do listen to them, of course, before I upload them. Like there was the one that I mentioned where it was like doing some repetition. I'm like, yeah, I can't. That's no good. Let's get rid of that. Let's give it a different prompt to make sure it doesn't do that. So yeah. Good morning to Boss It Live. Welcome to the stream. Hope you've had a good Saturday so far. So yeah, because yeah, I was interested in getting into podcasts, and one day I will do a podcast where it is me giving my own thoughts with my own voice. But this one, yeah, it's not my thoughts. It's not my. It's just based on information that I feed it in regards to, and I always will feed it official sources. Like if it's about a YouTube feature, I'm going to give it all the documentation I can find from YouTube about that feature, and get it to focus on whatever the feature is from a creator point of view, because I want it to be for creators, because that's the audience. So yes, interesting, and it's 11. It's we're gone the hour. We met the goal within that hour, so we're doing really good. But I need to, like, I played it before, but I officially need to call last call.
It's the last call.
And what the last call means, this is your last chance to ask a question, make a comment in the chat before we wrap things up today, and pass you all over to Nick Dimon, who will be going live in 28 minutes from now. And as part of that, one thing I didn't do last week, and I must apologize to anybody who was waiting to be redirected, I didn't set up the redirect to Nick's stream last week. So I do apologize. And I didn't think about it until I finished. And I finished and I was done, and I'm like, oh, I didn't redirect people. But today, do not fear, I am redirecting people. All right. So for clarification, you can load a script of information from one side and then have the other half be fed a specific set of questions to be asked of itself. Is that correct? It's not even that complicated. Basically, I go to Notebook LM. This is how I do it. I go to Notebook LM. Notebook LM is like where you can load in sources, which are web sources, sometimes YouTube videos, documents, PDFs, anything like that. The AI reads through that. That becomes what they call a source document. And then you can have a number of source documents on the topic. Once you've got it loaded in, you can just go and click generate AI conversation or generate AI, something like that. It works everything out. I could give it a little prompt at the start if I want, or I could just let it just do its thing. But usually I give it like a prompt to get it to frame everything for a content creator. But I don't tell it any questions to ask. I don't tell it what to cover. It just figures it out from all the documentation. So it could go in any direction apart from those prompts that I give it. I give it very little prompts. I don't say you need to ask these questions. Like sometimes at that point is the information is so new that I'm still mulling the information myself. Let's see what the AI can come up with for this as a discussion, and then I'll listen to it. Like that, it has to be reasonable enough for me to turn it into a podcast, because then I've got to load it into Descript and make the video. Because at that point it's just an audio. I download the audio, load it into Descript, and set up the scene where it just does everything. It has to like read, basically because it's just audio. Descript reads through and reworks it. It does all the caption text. And I can go, and if I see any obvious errors, I can fix that. But that uses it just as it gives it the caption source. It has a little audio waveform, so that when the video is playing, you see the audio waveform in time with the voice, so it looks realistic. I have the what they're saying come up in text. I have a little speaker thing that tells you who's speaking. Usually it's just two people. I have George and Lisa, the guy and the girl. They're the fictitious people. I have a guy and a girl on the thumbnails and the channel art. I just found them in Canva stock photos. I don't know, I don't know. This is AI voices. They don't have a look and feel. I just gave them like an avatar, a visual avatar to go with the vocal avatar. You know what I mean? So it's totally like you could call it fake. It's totally fake in the sense that nobody's actually telling them what to say. or anything. So I'm not giving them any direction whatsoever. But I do listen to it. I do make sure that it's nothing that, there's nothing out there. Like, it can have its opinion, but if it's like something that's like verifiably wrong, I'll probably just get it redone. But yeah. Oh, Beanie. I'm in trouble with Beanie. He's saying, oh, tisk. Yeah, absolutely. Still drop the Doug Hewson raid, even though it doesn't have the little pop up at the top. So yeah, it is interesting. Lee says, great information as always. A lot of great information. Thanks. Doing the great stream you do to help out creators. Yeah. It's the last call, y'all. Oh yeah, the blue super chat. Blue short. That's not super chat. Dropping it all. I was just awarded $1 from another channel. No clue what that means. $1. Isn't that what isn't that from Bluey? Is that from Bluey? $1? Somebody has a child and watches Bluey. Let me know. Is $1 from Bluey? I've heard that term before, and I think that's from Bluey. Awarded it from another channel in regards to YouTube. I have no idea what that means. Wonder if it's a bit like, remember back in the early Facebook days, you could poke people. Like what was that all about? It was like a virtual poke. So I visualize it. If I send someone a poke, that I'm like poking them with my finger. Is that how it works? I'm glad they got rid of the poke. I think that was pretty random, but it was very, very specific to Facebook. Oh, it's YouTube. It's definitely on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. If you find out exactly what it's about, let me know. That's cool. Yeah, $1 is Bluey. I thought so. $1. Maybe it's someone from Australia, but I know Bluey's like around the world now. If you've got young kids and you're on watching children's television or children's YouTube, then I'm sure Bluey's in the mix. Bluey's like back in the day it was the Wiggles. I know the Wiggles are still kicking around, but now it's Bluey. Bluey's the phenomenon. All the kids' phenomenons always come from Australia, apparently. Wiggles have been at it for years, and now Bluey's big, and now we have Bluey's World here in Brisbane. So tourists who come to Brisbane can go and visit Bluey's World with their kids. So there you go. You can still send pokes on Facebook, but you'll be considered weird that you still. It's not front and center like it used to be. That's so funny. Oh, love it. Oh, my water supplies are dwindling fast. So I'm probably going to call it there if there's no further questions or comments. I'm glad we can laugh about the $1. I think that's cool. Maybe they visited Bluey's World and converted their real money to $1 to spend, and then they got them left over. It's like, well, I wonder if I can send it to other creators. I wonder if they can do something with these $1. I really don't know what it is. I'd say Aussie Overlord. Well, yeah, that would make sense if it's from an Australian channel. Bluey's pretty big. Sort of didn't get on my radar until they got big, but I know who they are. I know when I flew last, it was like you could watch like a whole season of Bluey on the plane, and people with children on the plane, well, they were watching one or two things. They were watching Bluey on repeat, like the whole season, go back to the start, watch it again, or they were watching Cocomelon, one of the Cocomelon channels. And I just got to say, maybe kids love that stuff, but it's repetitive. For me, it falls into like YouTube's repetitious content policy, because it's usually the same thing, but they're doing different things. They're like doing these dances, and there's always 3 of them, but they rotate the different characters, and they're doing this dance and the dance moves are usually very similar, video to video, but there's some variations. But there's always around like 8, letters of the alphabet, or numbers, or objects, or different things. I don't know. Like it was like when you wake up sort of from trying to have a nap on a plane, on a long haul flight, and you look forward because you're tall. You look forward across the seats and see people watching different movies and stuff. But there's like people with kids over here, and there's like Bluey and Coco Melon, and you see the same thing after many hours. You see the same thing rotate back. It's like a fever dream. It's terrible. Bluey's not so bad, but Coco Melon is terrible. Like I wouldn't let my kids watch Coco Melon in a million years. I'd turn them into mindless robots or something. It's like probably like the way they're brainwashing the children. It's the modern way of brainwashing children. I don't know. It's really, really mind-numbing stuff. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. A few rabbit holes today, apparently. A few rabbit holes. Bluey is good stuff. Yeah, I think Bluey's good. I vaguely remember that. Oh, it's crazy. A big hello to DLX, who's just popped in, said hi, just as we're wrapping things up. So hello. So yeah, let's wrap things up and head out the door. Get ready for Nick Nimmin coming up in oh gee, let me do the math. Oh, only 18 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. I gotta make a coffee, refill the water bottle. So let's get it done. I've enjoyed the show today. Thank you for everyone who's participated. Thank you for everyone helping us reach that goal. So look out, sometime this week, I'll drop a stream, sometime somewhere during the week. And I'll try and get the schedule up for at least a little bit of notice. You know what I mean? Alice has been listening. But good stuff. Excellent. Yeah, that's good. The lurkers are welcome. Lurkers are welcome. All right. I'll see you all over on Nick's stream. And as always, I'm going to lose that. And I'll catch you later.